NPTEL for a long time. When I was the director of Digital Learning Center on the School of Engineering in Tezpur Central University, I was a professor of computer science there and the founder of computer science department. So I am associated with NPTEL from the very beginning, and we built up there the NPTEL chapter, and I was the spokesperson. So with that capacity, I am also a member of this family for a long time. Thank you for inviting me and giving this space to share my thought processes. And teaching and learning is a common process everywhere, but only is this where and how. There comes a different pathways to teaching and learning. And learn is such a verb in English whose past tense and past participles are available only in dictionaries. In real life, it's always present continuous. Similarly, another verb is there in English, which is teach, to teach. A teacher never retires. Even though I am retired from Tezpur University, still, up until that a teacher is always a present continuous tense. So teaching and learning is a continuous process. And in Indian context, we call these as shiksha. But what was the original meaning of shiksha? By shiksha today, we understand education. Was it the original meaning of shiksha? So to understand the original meaning of shiksha, we have to go back to our Vedic literature. We know we have 4 Vedas: Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda. To understand and these 4 Vedas, there were 6 Vedangas to help these complementary or supplementary texts, Vedanga, limbs of Veda. And the first Vedanga was Shiksha. And what was taught there? Shiksha in that time was to understand, to correctly pronounce the sounds of Sanskrit with proper matras. And that was the Shiksha. And so they studied under Shiksha the sounds, the science of sounds, phonology of Sanskrit language or the Bhasha at that time. So the phonetics, the history of study of phonetics started from Vedic age in India and Shiksha. And other Vedangas, Vyakarana, where in modern linguistics, what we call that morphology and the syntax were studied as Vyakarana or grammar. Nirukta was also about etymology. Chanda was about prosody because everything was captured under Chanda. And Kalpo for ritual and practices. I am not going in detail. Jyotisha for astronomy and astrology. Now, so Shiksha started with phonology or phonetics, but today we understand, encompass all dimensions of education. Now, what was the platform? The platform also over time changed. At one time, it was, the platform was, place was the Guru Alaya. That is the, what we call Gurukul. The students used to go to the Gurukul and learn there for the entire course curriculum and come back with the outcome knowledge. And the other form was Shishalaya. The teacher can visits the student's house and teach there, what we call tutorial system, home tutor. And many affluent people or others used to give education to their children and Shishalaya. And in between Shishalaya and Guru Alaya, then came in the middle of these two, that's come Vidyalaya, which is away from the teacher's abode and the abode of the Shishya or the student. And that is what we call Vidyalaya, and yet evolved to Mahavidyalaya and to Vishwavidyalaya. One in Vishwavidyalaya, that is the university where the knowledge is generated, and how to archive, how to store this knowledge, then we have the libraries. And libraries became the center repository of knowledge. And these libraries were patroned or the sponsored by the king or the ruler or the governor, whatever we say, over the time. But it also became a threat for the invaders. So invaders first targeted, from the history we know, first targets the libraries first, to damage the libraries. That happened in Alexandria Library, that happened in Nalanda and Takshashila Library, and this way the history is there. I think you remember, I think you know that famous film or the novel called Fahrenheit 451. The basic theme was that because library or the knowledge was the center of the threat. It was this center was the powerhouse for any civilization. At the same time, it was the main threat for the invaders. And the motive of any invader behind burning the libraries or destroying the libraries was to erase the past, control the present, and shape the future by limiting access to knowledge. Knowledge is power. And that the ruler normally are very much scared of intellectual people. It happened in history. And I think I can draw the example of Chanakya. Maharaj Nandan left only one intellectual person, and he damaged the entire, he became the main kingmaker later on. So in our time, across the history, we see this, the intellectual peoples and the ruler, there is a conflict. And now, I think many of you may know or may not know. We know Bakhtiyar Khilji destroyed, burned the library and the University of Nalanda. But who destroyed Bakhtiyar Khilji? Bakhtiyar Khilji also destroyed Odantapuri and then proceeded towards Kamrup, that is present-day Assam. At that time, the king of Pragjyotishpur, Maharaj Prithu, he annihilated around 20,000 big army of Bakhtiyar Khilji, and the wounded Bakhtiyar Khilji somehow survived with only 100 soldiers, and then crossed the river. That happened in a place called Hilsakur today, very near to Guwahati, only 6 kilometers away from the Guwahati capital, and then succumbed to injuries or killed by his nephew. And that is Bakhtiyar Khilji, the revenge of burning the libraries of the university, destroying the universities, was done by Maharaj Prithu of Pragjyotishpur. And right now, I am the founding vice chancellor of that Pragjyotishpur University. And we named, because this contribution or this act of Maharaj Prithu is not known in the history of India in many places. That's why we named our boys hostel as Maharaj Prithu Hostel, so that whoever stays there, at least they will carry forward these things. Now, this Vidyalaya concept is in a physical space, but in a virtual space, we have now virtual Vishwavidyalaya, where neither it is the abode of teacher, nor the abode of the student, nor the Vidyalaya, but we have in the cyberspace, we are now delivering or running this process of teaching and learning, where in different coordinates. If we call same time and space coordinates, like same time and same place coordinate, then what is called classroom, physical classroom. In same time and different place coordinate, we have the system or the platform which is called online interactive classes. And different time, different place coordinate, and that is where our SWAYAM or NPTEL fits. And SWAYAM and NPTEL is a transformative platform for education in India. Being associated with this platform, I can see that these will transform the educational landscape of India. And it is transforming. Now, luckily we have, at the same time, we have the transformative policy called NEP 2020. I hope NEP 2020 main characteristics are known, which is Bharat Budh, understanding India, Mullabudh, multidisciplinary, multilingualism, as my earlier speaker has already mentioned. These characteristics are to be implemented, okay, under the frameworks given by NEP 2020. We, the vice chancellors or the institutional heads, are running from the morning to evening to implement all the facets of NEP 2020. Here, there is a vital role this SWAYAM and NPTEL can play, because it's a multidisciplinary in nature. We have horizontal access as well as vertical access there. But in many colleges, particularly in rural areas, they do not have that level of multidisciplinary, multiple disciplines are not there. So we can incorporate these courses, which can be, credit transfer can be done automatically up to 40%. Then these core courses, which are major and minor 1 or minor 2 courses and multidisciplinary courses, can be taken from SWAYAM. Apart from that, the SWAYAM also has different baskets of courses like skill enhancement courses and ability enhancement courses, value-added courses, and vocational courses. These, if NPTEL can develop the courses with the tags like these course can be fitted in the basket called vocational course, value-added course, ability enhancement course, multilingualism, particularly how my earlier speaker has already said, then the colleges or the universities can complement, because so many resources are not possible. Second issue which comes up is that if we incorporate all these things with flexibility and all these things, we cannot have a class routine with proper. Now, if we have offline class routine and also online courses, some courses from these baskets and developed by NPTEL, because NPTEL is well known now for quality content. So then we can easily adopt. I am adopting this because I can declare here, as the founding vice chancellor, I have implemented NEP 2020 almost all main features, 100% I can claim. And because of that, I was given the responsibility of hosting NEP implementation conference of all vice chancellors of this Eastern Zone and Northeast Zone in Guwahati a few months back. So with this experience, I came to know, since I was associated with SWAYAM or NEP, that NPTEL, so we can expect that I request Professor Banerjee and the others from NPTEL and to develop, because some of the courses are already there. We adopted those courses in totality, and these are very helpful, but not sufficient. So with this request, I conclude my short speech and সবাইকে আবার শুভেচ্ছা এবং ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি।